No, I don't want to do that.
The Zoom, please, or the recording. All right. Thank you guys for being here for LD12's October monthly meeting. We're going to go ahead and get this meeting started. It is officially 6:01 p.m. Thank you for joining us for today's meeting, either in person or virtually. Please be advised that our meetings are recorded by Zoom for documentation purposes and reference purposes. By continuing to be part of this meeting, you consent to being recorded. If you have any concerns or objections, please let the board know at the beginning of the meeting. You guys all have your agenda at the table, which lists what we'll be talking about tonight and has all of our upcoming events, QR codes for important things, and some links for different things that are on the ballot this year. Just a reminder to purchase your Bada Bing raffle tickets. Oh, sorry. Skip that slide. To get, land acknowledgement. My slides are all out of whack here, sorry. We'll do the land acknowledgement. Thank you, Marion. The Arizona LD12 Democrats acknowledge the land we gather on today is the ancestral homeland of indigenous nations that have inhabited these lands since time immemorial. We take this opportunity to thank the Hohokam, including the Akimal, Otham, and Peeposh Maricopa peoples of the past, present, and future for their traditional care of this land and their resilience. Attached to this physical space is a painful history, forced removal resulting in intentional genocide of its indigenous people. This history is important to all of us as a reminder not to cause further harm. We remain appreciative of our ability to teach, learn, and serve in a space of such importance and reverence. Now we'll welcome any first-time attendees. If you are a first-time attendee, please raise your hand and we will introduce you. Anybody? Anybody? No? Okay. No first-time attendees. Do we have any first-time attendees online, Susie? If you put them in, have them raise their hand.
Apparently not.
Okay, no new attendees online either. Thank you. Next, we will welcome any elected officials. If you are an elected official, please stand so you can be recognized. First, we have Constable Bridget Bellavina for Kyrene Justice Precinct. We also have Jennifer Germain. She is our Justice of the Peace for San Marcos District. Armando Montero is the President of Tempe Union Governing Board. Patti Serrano is the President of Chandler Unified Governing Board. Any elected officials online? Susie, if you need to unmute, just let me know. Doesn't look like it. Okay, moving on then. If you are a candidate that is running for office, please stand so we can introduce you. Bridget Bellavina running again for Constable of Kyrene Justice Precinct. We have Jonathon Hill. He is running for Arizona Corporation Commission, and he will be one of our guest speakers tonight. Jennifer Germain is running again for Justice of the Peace for San Marcos Precinct. Armando Montero is running for LD12 House of Representatives. Brooke St. George is running for Tempe City Council. Kristie O'Brien just walked in. She's running for Senate in LD13. We have Nick Mansour, who's running for State Treasurer. He'll be our guest speaker tonight as well. Any candidates online? No. Oh. Patti Contreras is online. She is a current elected official for the Arizona House and running for Senate in 2026. And then I think that's it that we have for now. We will remind you to purchase your Bada Bing raffle basket tickets. Both baskets are over here for you to view. The QR code to purchase tickets is on the agenda on the table, or if you want to pay by cash, you can go over and see Mark over here to purchase your raffle tickets. I'm out of breath. No. Okay, so our first guest speaker tonight is Nick Mansour. He is a candidate for Arizona State Treasurer, and he's going to share with us why he's running and how we can help him. Welcome, Nick.
Great. Thank you. Thank you all for having me. It's great to be here, and thanks for making this happen. I will give a quick bio. I grew up in Tucson. I've lived in Phoenix for the last, there we go. Lived in Phoenix for the last 15 years. I'm married. We have 4 adult kids. And for the last 27 years, I've been an entrepreneur. Quick story that really led to me deciding to run for this office. When I was 40, I was diagnosed with a tumor, size of a golf ball, right in between my ears. And like many people that have a health scare like that, it can have a profound impact. And in my case, it gave me a chance to evaluate my life, and it's one of the best things that ever happened to me. I was 40 years old. Our kids were all 10 and under, and I had a chance to really think about what was important to me. Helping people is important to me, and at age 40, I hadn't done enough of that, and I didn't want to get to 80 and feel the same way. Now, I know you're a little nervous and you're wondering how the story's going to end. So spoiler alert, I'm here. I've survived, yeah. And soon thereafter, I got to work at a school called Arizona College of Nursing. There we go. All right. More nurses, more school, more education. And over a 14-year period, we grew the school from about 450 students to about 7,500 students when I left. More important than that, we helped thousands of people become a nurse. Nursing is a great profession and can transform your life. And through them, we helped improve Arizona's healthcare system. I've decided, though, that it's time for me to serve Arizona in a different way. And I'm running for the treasurer's office because this office can do more to provide economic opportunities for all Arizonans. As treasurer, I'm going to focus on 3 priorities. I'm going to focus on driving our economic growth. Let's focus on increasing our funding for education. And I'm going to focus on making sure we use our resources in a fiscally responsible manner. One of the good things about Arizona is we're growing. Growth does mean more and better jobs for you and for your neighbors. The treasurer's responsibility is to make the state an attractive place for businesses to come and stay. I've created businesses. I've created thousands of jobs. I can use that background to attract good companies, good jobs to our state in a sustainable way. Over the last several months, I've talked to thousands of Arizonans, and many people are concerned about their future and our economy. The cost of living just keeps going up. Our hiring has slowed down. And education is a key to a better place in life. I've seen that in my own life. I've seen that at Arizona College of Nursing. Not only is nursing a very meaningful profession, there are lots of jobs in nursing, and they pay well. And you just keep agreeing with everything, so that's great. Oh, good. All right. Our education is not where we want it to be. We are ranked 50th, and actually somebody told me recently if you include Guam and Puerto Rico and a few other territories, we're ranked 53rd. Our students perform below average on standardized exams, and we get what we pay for because we spend dead last as well. And more funding isn't the only answer, but it is a part of the solution. I mean, we are having a hard time attracting teachers and keeping teachers. So it's definitely part of the solution, and that's where the treasurer can help. And in addition, I want to focus on fiscal responsibility, and I want to give you a couple of quick examples. We have an education endowment fund in this state. That fund is now a $9 billion fund. It's a lot of money. Only we invest it differently than every other state that has a similar fund. And they earn more money than we do. If we just did what Texas, Wyoming, Utah, New Mexico, Oregon, or half a dozen other states do, last year, we would have earned $200 million more on that fund. 1 year alone, tax-free, nobody has to pay anything. And that's 100% for the benefit of education. Put it another way, we did what the other states do 10 or 11 years ago. Our fund has grown from $5 billion to $9 billion. It would now be $12 billion. Wow. That's a big number, apparently. I mean, that's $3 billion of foregone earnings that we'll never get back. So we need to address the investment policy that governs that fund, and the treasurer oversees that. One other example, which you may all be familiar with. I know you all know about empowerment scholarship accounts. Say what you will about the program, there is wasteful spending in that program. Your tax dollars are paying for people to buy kitchen appliances, to go to trips to SeaWorld, to pay for trampoline park memberships. And yeah, I wasn't going to say lingerie, but you're right, lingerie too. I was going to say a few things I don't want to mention, but you did it for me. So the treasurer is an administrator of those accounts. And when I'm treasurer, I will do whatever I can in my power to eliminate that waste. So those are my 3 priorities, but there is a 4th reason I'm running. And this actually gets back to economic opportunity as well. I'm running to restore some decency to our politics. We need to start focusing more on where we agree, and we need to focus less on the extremes. And frankly, we need to quit tearing our communities apart and bring our community back together and fix some problems. I'm not a politician, I'm a problem solver. I've never run for elected office before. I know I can be a part of the solution there. Having said all that, this is going to be a tough race. Every statewide race in Arizona is tough. We need your help. We need you to donate your time and money. We need you to go online and sign our petition, or get petitions and take them to your neighbors and get those signed. And probably more than anything, we need you to tell your neighbors about the importance of this treasurer's office and the impact it can have on our economy and our education. I think people do not pay enough attention to this office, and there's a lot more that we can do. And with your help, we're going to win. When we do that, we'll help the state grow faster, improve our education by increasing our funding for education, use our resources in a fiscally responsible way, and we'll fix some problems. And together, we'll increase economic opportunity for all Arizonans. Thank you for your support.
Very much. Good luck.
Marion.
Hello. So we have coming up in November, right in the middle, you can see in your table, on your table, look at this, because I'm going to ask you to do something with it. So it is in October, October 24th. We are going to have Blue Bingo Bash. So buy your ticket today. So it's basically a duplication of a really successful event we had last year. We're going to have candidates, and I have a list of candidates. One of them, Armando Montero, who is running for what? LD12, state representative. So he's going to be a caller. You know Stacy Travers, she loves to be our caller there. So she's going to also be a caller. We also have down ballot candidates, Cicely Rocha for Chandler City Council. We also have Tempe City Council, Bobby Nichols. All these people you're going to be able to basically see informally. We're going to have more people like Sharon Sauls. She has donated, our judge, Sharon Sauls, has donated wonderful prizes, okay? A book about her domestic abuse with a bottle of wine, because that's what we should have with that type of book. And also, she's also authored a children's book. We also have Patti Contreras. Unfortunately, she can't be there, but she's donated 2 gift certificates for dinner with her. So you get to sit down with Patti. So lots of good prizes, lots of good informal meetings with lots of candidates. And we get to play bingo. It's $20, and you get to bring your own beverage. So if Melissa wants wine, she'll bring a few bottles of wine. She has a case. Yes, she has a case to share with us. If you like beer, you can bring some beer and share it too. So buy your bingo ticket, okay? You get 2 bingo cards along with dinner, with tacos and side dishes. And Molly, right here, can you go ahead? It is at Molly's. She is our host. It's right down the street from me. It's in Ahwatukee, and so it's very close by. And so we'll have a great time. Unfortunately, Mitzi is going to be celebrating in Boston. She's right here, her grandchild's birthday, so she won't be with us. So unfortunately, our candidate, she's not a candidate anymore, but she has served us well. She won't be at a Blue Bingo Bash. So would like to go ahead and encourage you. It's $20. It helps us as far as fundraising. Okay, the other thing we have, next we have 2 candidates. Go ahead. Also volunteering on the Blue Bingo Bash. If you want to help me set up and all that, that would be great. That would be fantastic. And on here, there's a volunteer. We have Clara Pratte and Jonathon Hill, candidates for Arizona Corporation Commission. So they will be coming up and talking to you about that. And they're also welcome to Blue Bingo Bash. Okay, come on up. And this is Jonathon Hill.
Well, good evening, LD12s. Thank you so much for having us. I'm not sure where Clara is, but you're right there. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Come on up. Okay, you snuck in. That was great. So we don't have much time here, so just a quick show of hands. How many of you know what the Corporation Commission does? Awesome. That is the best response I have ever gotten. Okay, so then we don't need to stick around here and tell you how important it is that we get Democrats on the commission. Right now, of the 5 seats, there are 5 Republicans. And as you can imagine, the utility companies are just lining up to get the biggest rate increases that they've seen in decades. And so we need to turn the tide a little bit. So there are 2 seats on the ballot this coming election. Myself and Clara are running for those 2 seats. I see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd, but for those who haven't met me before, my background is not in politics. This is only the 2nd time I've tried running for office. I ran in 2024, so maybe you recognize the name. But my background is in engineering and science. So I work at ASU on a number of NASA space missions. I have my PhD in geology. And that science expertise, that engineering expertise is what I really think would serve us all well on the commission. And why don't you introduce yourself?
Imagine somebody who actually knows science on the Corporation Commission. That would be a nice change. Well, thank you, friends, for having us here tonight. Really appreciate it. My name is Clara Pratte. Like Jonathon, I'm not a career politician. I've been involved in politics, but always on the back, quiet side, volunteering and being community engaged. So this is my first time running for public office. I'm a member of the Navajo Nation. I live in Flagstaff, Arizona. But I've been really interested in the Corporation Commission since a very young age. I know, every little girl's dream, right? Well, I grew up without utilities, no running water, no electricity. So that got the brain spinning at a young age. Why? What's going on here? So learning a lot about infrastructure. I got to serve on President Biden's Infrastructure Advisory Committee, which was a really huge honor. It was like me and the president of Boeing. How did I get here? I'm just a little girl from the reservation. But I've worked a lot in this space of energy and infrastructure. I spent a lot of time working in government and politics, and I moved back home to Arizona. I'm a graduate of Flagstaff High School. Woo, go Eagles. Go Eagles, there we go. But what I will say is that we live in a time in our country right now where we can't wait for democracy to save us. We have to save democracy. And I know that everybody in this room gets that. the connection with the Corporation Commission is really clear. Our communities, our families, our seniors are feeling the pressure from all angles. We know that Medicare and Medicaid are coming up with some big changes because of the big, you know what bill. Can't say that for the public. Ugly bill, that's a nice way to put it. But we know that there's a lot of things that are happening in our country, and utility rates are another one of those things that continue to put pressure on our families. When you have families that are literally deciding on how they're going to balance their budget, whether they can afford certain food items or pay their utility bill, that's a problem. And I will say, you know, you can't blame the utilities for doing what the utilities do. We can't say, oh, you big bad APS. We can say that, but really it's our regulators that are falling asleep on the job. They work for the people. They don't. So with that, I'm really happy to be here tonight and share some time and space with you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Staying too close. Are oh. Yeah, if you have a question or
Yeah,
two.
any questions?
Yeah. So, okay, yeah, so the question was, how important is it to vote for the SRP board? And apparently they're coming to your meeting next month. I'll just say that it's exceedingly important.
Right there.
SRP, SRP is not regulated by the commission in most aspects because they have their own elected board. So if our SRP customer, you think your rates are too high, you need to vote in the SRP election, and they'll come next month. Apparently, they'll tell you it's a very complicated process to get a ballot, but they'll walk you through it.
Sure, happy to do that. So I'm co-founder of Navajo. Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. She asked about some of the clean energy projects that I've been involved with on the Navajo Nation. Thank you for that question. I'm co-founder of Navajo Power Public Benefit Corporation, which it's a for-profit entity that acts a lot like a nonprofit because the profits have to go back into generating more electricity. We have a current 750 megawatt solar facility that we are in lease negotiation with in the Cameron coal mine area, which is just north of Flagstaff. The big issue when we're talking about renewables that has always kind of flummoxed society is the cost and battery storage. Well, for the first time ever, solar is cheaper than a lot of our conventional powers. And so one of the things, as a free market capitalist, don't hate me, one of the things I always say is make it make sense when you're telling me that we're going to get rid of solar and wind and somehow that's going to make prices go down. That just doesn't economically make sense. We need solar, we need wind, we need battery, we need everything. And especially in a state like Arizona, hello, sunshine, like why are we not leading on this effort? Unfortunately, with a lot of the big, beautiful bill rollbacks and reduction in greenhouse gas reduction funds, many solar projects across the country are in a state of not knowing if they're going to be able to be built or not. But an interesting factoid is in Texas, just like last week, for the first time ever, maybe second time ever, it's really recent, solar and wind outpaced and was covering 2/3 of the energy load in the state, causing negative utility bills to actually be generated at that time. We need that here. We need that here in the state of Arizona.
So really quick before they pull us off here, we need to ask for you two things from you tonight. Both Clara and I really need your signatures to get on the ballot. We need over 6,500 signatures, and those add up really quick when groups this big can have everybody sign. So we have some people walking around with petitions. Come up and see us afterwards if you don't get one. The second thing we need is Clara and I are both running as clean elections candidates, which means that we're not allowed to accept money from corporations. We think that's important when running for a position like the Corporation Commission. And in return, the state will give us each about $250,000 to run our campaigns. The catch is that we need $5 donations to prove that we have grassroots support for that funding, and we need 1,500 of them. So we'd really like to ask all of you to donate $5 tonight. When you give us that $5, it becomes $250. So I could ask everyone in the room here for $250 before we leave tonight. I won't. Just give us the 5, and that will do your duty. So we have the forms you need to fill out along with the 5. So come up and see us afterwards. And thank you very much in advance for all your support. Yes, yeah, 5 for each.
Just a quick reminder that on your agenda is a QR code to go to eQual. You can sign for these candidates and others that you're eligible to sign for. You can also do your $5 donations there too, I believe. So if you don't want to fill out the form and do it here, you can always do it online when you're signing for all of the other candidates.
Okay, we were having some technical difficulties. I hope the people on Zoom can hear us now. We've been working on that. So just remember that everybody on the board and all of my tech equipment and my treasurer and my people that help me sell items, we are all volunteers. And so just please be patient. I'm asking people online and in person to be patient with us as we get through this. We're not experts. We don't get paid for this. Anyways, I want to say one of the ways we raise money every single month is our Bada Bing raffle baskets. There's 2 over there. Somebody already emailed me and said, if I win, she goes, when I win, ask Mark to hold on to it. I'll come get it from him. I was like, wow. She's like, I feel lucky tonight. Is it your turn to feel lucky? Come on. Get your Bada Bing raffle basket tickets. The QR codes are on your tables. They're up here. I want to say thank you to Bill and Judy and Jerry Koppel. Is Jerry here today? No, I didn't see her. Anyways, they put together these beautiful baskets for all of our events. They're amazing. If you have donations or you have something that you see, they're happy to take donations. I know she always loves baskets, nice baskets to put things in. So thank you. I'm going to talk about upcoming events. It is an election right now. And I know it's not a big recognized, a lot of people aren't talking about it, but we are jam-packed. There are tons of events going on. Everything gets on our LD calendar. We have protests, we have canvases, we have bone banks, we have all kinds of things coming up. So please make sure you take a look. Of course, the bingo bash, we're fundraising as we go along to raise money for next year's election, which is our big election for the district. But we still have things going on now. We're going to talk about a few other things. So looking ahead, we'll be back to our Monday night here next month in November. And then remember, in December, we don't do a monthly meeting. We have our holiday party, just FYI. So the holiday party will be on our monthly meeting in December. But don't forget, there's Pride coming up. There's a lot of different things. So please take your agendas home. No King's protests. I hope to see everybody out there. It'll be nice. The weather will be nice. So looking forward to it. Next slide. I didn't memorize what I'm supposed to. Oh, this is more events. Of course, our sponsor, Julia Fleeman, puts together Dems and Donuts every single month. She does an amazing job finding speakers. So thank you. Watering Hole Wednesday, thank you to Ann Lutz. She puts that together every single month for us. I love the team effort that we have here in LD12, that these people, our volunteers, just do it. They just do it. So amazing. I love you guys. But this is one of my favorite. For the third year? This is our 3rd year. Brick Road Coffee does a trunk or treat in the parking lot. I'm very excited. This will be our 3rd year. And our theme this year is going to be Cookie Monster. This is what it's going to look like. Well, maybe. We'll see how creative I can get. I just bought some of the supplies to make. We'll be out at giving out cookies. We're going to do Famous Amos cookies. They're a Black-owned company. So we're going to be getting those from Costco, which is also a blue business, bigger business. But please come join me. And it's a lot of fun. They do a little art festival in the parking lot. And we go out there and we talk to people about the Democrats, because they are in our district. And we're going to talk about making sure that they get their ballots and they vote. So please make sure you join me for that. Now I'd like to introduce one of our PCs and state committee members. Is she a state committee member? No, she's just a PC. Oh, she's not just a PC. She's the PC. This is Stephanie, and she's going to talk about her blue business. Come on up. Do you need?
Well, I brought my Vanna White with me.
Oh,
So
Here you go. You'll have to
he's-
hold-
I'm gonna give him-
He's going to hold it.
yeah, there we go. Thank you. Can you hear me now and see me online? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So can you hold that up? Because I don't know. We don't know what they see on screen because it's me. They can. Okay. So hello, everybody. I am a blue business. My company is actually speaking, training, and consulting, and Stephanie Angelo speaking, training, and consulting. I know it says Built to Thrive on the sheet, but that's okay. That's one of my taglines. I invented the company culture board game. Think of it this way. Have you ever been in an organization where the employees really didn't know how to talk to managers? They didn't know if it's psychologically safe to do so. Have you ever worked at a company where the managers really didn't know how and when to get into conversation with their employees? Well, the company culture board game was designed to solve that problem for both sides so that managers can talk to employees, employees can talk to managers, and we talk about things that are values to the organization. And of course, since I invented the game, a lot of these are my own personal values. There are things like inclusion. There are things like ethics. There are things like, supporting LGBTQ. So just similar to the game of sorry, I think you go around the circle, and then when you get to your safe spot, you go home. So this game is similar to that. It's a very fun game. It always gets people talking. Even the ones that come into workshops and go, I hate games, they enjoy it, and they're smiling and having a great time within minutes. There's also a digital version. So for those of you that have remote employees, or maybe you're not even a company, maybe you're on a board of directors or something like that. That's probably a couple people in this room, right? Anybody here on a board? Yes. So it could be a game that is used for that, to get the people talking to one another. The website for the game is companyculturegame.com. And I also have information cards in my pocket. So if you're interested in information card, just raise your hand and I'll give it to you. You could also go to companyculturegame.com. But I think that this would be a great opportunity for those of you that still work in organizations, or those of you that are on a board or something where you've got people that need to communicate with one another. And I say in the workplace environment, if this stops even one employee from leaving, it will have paid for itself. Because according to the Society for Human Resource Management, it takes 25% of an employee's income to replace that person. So let's just say, hypothetically, you earn $100,000 a year. We're talking $25,000 just to replace that employee. So do you understand the value of having a training tool like this? Something that's fun. And I don't have enough hands to get the cards out in the pawns and all that stuff, but I wanted you to have a visual of the game in the box. If you can see the box, it shows how inclusive our values are. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie, and her lovely assistant. Next up, we're going to hear from our next guest speaker, and you may be wondering why we would have somebody that's running in LD13, and I will tell you. We are very strong supporters of our neighbors in Chandler and Gilbert, which is LD13, and though we will have a different election than what we were expecting, since Mitzi's announcement, we still want to uplift our neighbors. They have a really good opportunity of bringing 2 seats, one in the Senate, one in the House, in 2026. So we want everybody to get to know and talk to their Chandler and Gilbert friends about Kristie O'Brien. She's running for Senate in LD13.
Hello, everybody. So it's good to be in a room with so many friends that I actually already know, and my mentor, Mitzi. So thank you. And I see one of my emerged sisters, Lisa. Oh, yes, thank you. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Kristie O'Brien. I am a native Arizonan. I grew up in the East Valley. I grew up actually in Chandler, but my first home was in Tempe on the corner of Rural and Guadalupe. And we moved to Chandler when I was 6. I'm the daughter of a social worker who worked for the city of Phoenix for 30 years, and my father was an insurance broker. And I graduated from Dobson High. So I'm a proponent of public education. Yay, go Mustangs. And I grew up in a family of first and second generation Americans. My family on the Irish side were immigrants, both of my grandparents. So they were Republicans because to them, being a Republican meant something different in Ireland. The other side of my family were lifelong Democrats. So both of my parents were Democrats, and it was instilled in me from an early age that public service was a good thing, and being involved in our community was a good thing, and lifting up our neighbors was a good thing. And it wasn't something that was just something that you did because you wanted to run for office. It was really a value that you had from an early age because we cared about each other. Um, After I graduated, I stayed in Washington, D.C., where I went to college, and I interned on the Hill. And I interned at the United States Senate Committee on Environment and Public Works, where I worked on the reauthorization of the Clean Air and Clean Water Act. And during that time, there was a government shutdown just like today. So right now, I want to assure you that along with our US senators, there are a lot of 20-year-olds running the United States government. So they are keeping things going. So hopefully they will reopen soon. And I didn't think that we would be here again. But after my undergrad, I stayed in DC. I worked my way through graduate school where I went to Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies. My focus was on counterterrorism, international relations, and human trafficking. And as I was doing that, I was working at a law firm, and then I was working in intellectual property and civil litigation. And I was like, well, I'm doing all this work and these attorneys are getting the credit. I'm going to go to law school. So I went to law school, and I am now a reformed lawyer. I am a mediator. So for all the years I fought for others, I now try to bring peace to everybody that I deal with in their households. And I hope that I can do that at the Arizona State Ledge. Now, I know that seems crazy right now when we're talking about fight, fight, fight. But when we look at the policies that have really affected Arizonans and been successful, it's always come down to the bills and the policies that we put forward together, and we collaborate and everybody can get behind. But of course, we have the reality of the world that we live in today, so we are going to fight to get a majority in the Arizona Ledge. While the federal government is unfortunately falling apart or not doing their job, we need to reinforce our state government. And while the top of the ticket is extremely important, so is flipping the Senate. This is not my first rodeo, although I say that, but I've never been in a rodeo. But I ran, I ran for office in 2014. It was a red district when it was 17, and I ran against the godfather of the ESA, Stephen Yarbrough. Nobody believed that we had any hope in ever turning that part of Chandler and Gilbert and Sun Lakes purple or blue. But we knocked on more doors than we had never knocked before, and we made more calls than we had ever made before, and we raised money and we organized. And from then on, we have always had a very active LD. And the next cycle, we ran Jennifer Pollock. She lost. The cycle after that, she won. And Jennifer's my honorary chair, and I've been just in awe of what she has said about how it was when she was at the ledge. And I know we really, really have to flip it to be able to get the leadership that Arizonans deserve. Right now, so after I ran in 2014, I served on the state board of the party with Dr. Heydrich. I was one of the vice chairs. And at that time, my father was diagnosed with frontal temporal dementia. So here I was trying to figure out paying off my student loans, figuring out reinventing my legal career, and advocating for my father, who was on the opposite side of the country. So I ended up getting my father out of a financially abusive situation and bringing him to Arizona so he could be in a memory care in Arizona. It costs on average $6,000 to $16,000 per month out of pocket for these memory care facilities. If we have these cuts to Medicare and Medicaid coming down the pike starting next January, we are going to have a crisis on our hands all over the state. So that is definitely one of my priorities. The second thing is when I started my family in 2017, I had twins and they came early. They were 3-pounders who spent 43 days in the NICU. And the entire time they were in the NICU, I was worried I was going to be bankrupt before I left the hospital. I call them my $1 million babies, and I can tell you they really are. So I know we shared that story about what it's like being in the NICU and having twins, and being a preemie doesn't just end when they leave the hospital. There are developmental and therapies and different things that have to take place throughout the course of their lives. So I know these programs are on the cutting block, and that's extremely important to me. Of course, with the ESA vouchers, we've all heard how horrible the fraud and these ghost babies. And I know we have a powerhouse in Chris Mays, and she's going to be prosecuting the cases she can. But we have to set up these guardrails, and that depends on the legislation out of the Arizona State Senate and the Arizona House. So Rocky, her specialty is in education. So I know we have a Dynamo team. We would love your support. And I definitely need all the volunteers we can get. I know you have wonderful candidates. When you are done canvassing for them, please come canvass for us. We need more money than we have ever raised. We have an open seat. JD Mesnard is termed out. Both House seats are open. This is the most competitive race in the state. Our DPI is 48.2. That is the most competitive out of all of the districts that are poised to turn blue. So we could use our friends in LD12. And of course, I take anything, change, dollars, credit cards, you name it. Kristie for Arizona is on Act Blue, and I would love your support. So thank you so much.
Hold on. I want to tell you, when I first heard your speech a couple months ago at a LD13 meeting, I try to go to a lot of different LD meetings. I really connected with you. Not only did you graduate from Dobson, but I did graduate from Dobson, but the twins, because my daughter had twins that spent 12 weeks in the NICU. One baby was, baby A was 1 pound, 6 ounces. And the second one was 2 pounds, 10 ounces. So born on Christmas Eve by emergency C-section. So I really connected with you. And so when you guys asked to come speak, I'm like, yes, please come talk to my people. So thank you very much. And I'll show you pictures. Okay, so Sherry's gonna give us an update on Dems Give Back.
Is Kendra here? Kendra? Oh, there she is. Okay. Kendra's going to be passing out some little flyers while our official Dems Give Back donation drives and things of that sort are on pause for the moment, just to give everybody a chance to catch their breath. We do want to talk about some ways that we can help our community during the government shutdown. Some things that we can do as individuals is to provide financial support, either through direct support to individuals that we know who are government workers that have been furloughed, or through organizations like the Federal Employee Education and Assistance Fund. Their website is feea.org, and you can make donations, and they provide grant funding and resources to federal employees that have been furloughed or even laid off. We can also support our community organizations such as community action agencies and local food banks. I know that Tempe Community Action Agency, we've supported them in the past. We can provide them with financial donations or volunteer with them. Chandler also has a community action agency, as well as the city of Phoenix. And then, of course, we know there are different food banks around the valley, including St. Mary's Food Bank. And the other thing that we can do to help out our community is to share resources by staying informed and sharing information that we have with others via social media or in any of our neighborhood groups. So again, we don't have an official donation drive or anything like that going on, but we want to encourage our folks to help those who are struggling right now that are our federal workers. Another reminder to get your Bada Bing raffle tickets. Mark is over here at the table if you need to pay with cash or a check. Otherwise, you can scan the QR code on your agenda. And next up, I would like to welcome Patti Serrano. She is representing Agave Strategies, and she's going to talk with us about Prop 409 tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Hopefully people remember I was here last month to introduce Proposition 409. Now, ballots have already been mailed out. Raise your hand if you have completed your ballot and returned it. This is a good track record. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, the reality is that we all probably know people who have not. I want to remind you that Proposition 409 is a county-wide election. Now, while it is a nonpartisan election, the reality is that it is Democratic-led because we're talking about healthcare. We're talking about healthcare as a human right and expanding accessibility to meet the needs, the known needs that our county has in supporting the only safety catch-net hospital in the entire county that is ginormous, the size of Maricopa, everybody. It is also the only teaching hospital. So I think, we can advance some slides here. I don't want to take up too much time because I have confidence that everybody here understands that we have a broken healthcare system and we need hospitals like Valleywise to continue operating. We're looking to expand behavioral health care and emergency services. Valleywise actually operates not one, but 2 emergency departments. And we'll go to the next slide. Just for your awareness, we have 15 Valleywise locations that include one here in Chandler off of McQueen and Pecos. So we actually have a community healthcare center run by Valleywise nearby and in Guadalupe. I also want to point out, we should think about our firefighters. We know that Valleywise has that the Trauma 1 level healthcare services, and we have the world-renowned Diane and Bruce Halley Burn Center. Where do you think our severely injured firefighters have to go in a case of emergency? It's Valleywise. Same thing for you and I if something were to happen. So this is the clinic here that I mentioned here in Chandler. And what I want to spend time on tonight, and we'll go forward, AJ, please. We're going to spend time here. The total bond approval, and I saw it on the blue cheat sheet for LD12, it is $898 million. That sounds like a lot of money. It might scare people in your network. And people will always ask, well, how much is that going to cost me? We have a very accessible answer to that. We're going to go to the next slide. We are looking for 11 cents per $100 of the net assessed limited property value. Now, what the heck does that mean? People tend to associate their taxes on property related to what they might Google or see on Zillow, for instance. Or they might even think about the full cash value if they recently took equity out on their home. That makes sense. But that is not the home property value that we are looking at when we fund our bonds. Okay, that's very important if you're explaining this to people. You want them to actually look up that LPV, or the limited assessed property value. They can go to the county recorder's website for that, or I invite you to direct them to yesonm409.com, where we have a direct link for people to find the true LPV value of their home, and then they enter it into a calculator on our website because there's nothing to hide. Now, looking at average home prices right now, if you take a $600,000 house, so that is the example we have here, the Zestimate comes out to $592. That's pretty reasonable, at least for Chandler, Ahwatukee area. That full cash value, $450,000. We're still not using that number. The limited value is $256,000. Still not using that number. We're winding down to, again, the assessed limited property value. For a $600,000 home, that's actually $25,000. Once you do the math, that is $28 for the year. So when somebody says, how much is this going to cost me? You can confidently say, well, on a $600,000 home, you're looking at $28 for the entire year to meet the needs that we know we have here in Maricopa County. And guess what's coming? Earlier we talked about, I heard about the Medicaid and Medicare rollbacks. The attacks on the ACA continue, and that's going to have a lot of people fall out of their healthcare networks. Where are they going to go? This is what they don't turn away patients at Valleywise. And that's why we need them to exist to continue to support our communities. And we'll go forward, AJ. It is largely endorsed. You'll see an array here. I do want to give a special shout out and thank Senator Epstein. Hopefully people saw a wonderful op-ed that recently came out where Senator Epstein talks about the urgency and that this is no blank check. We know where this money is going. The board did a very transparent assessment of where the money is going. So as I mentioned, ballots are in the mail. We need everybody to complete them. Proposition 409 is at the very top of that ballot as a reminder. It should be a very easy yes. And we'll go forward. So we still have volunteer opportunities, everybody. Please visit the website. You can certainly sign up. And we have some very specific needs. We'll go forward. We're tabling right now. I heard Brick Road Coffee. I know we're all fans. We'll be tabling at Brick Road Coffee on October 18th and the 25th. We'll also be at Empower Coffee Roasters, which is their sister company in Mesa. And our friends over at Changing Hands Bookstore, both in Phoenix and Tempe, have also allowed us to use up their space. So tabling is super easy, just talking to people, letting them know there's a ballot in the mail. So we invite you to please help us out. And we'll go forward. So we're just making sure everybody is educated. $28 a year for what we get in return is more than worth it. And I hope you can help us spread the word, amplify our social media, do what you can to make sure that we pass this, because we know everybody deserves a right to health care. And this is, again, our only safety net catch hospital. We have the support of many medical associations and clinics, because if they don't expand to meet the need, where are these people going to go? The capacity does not exist at the neighboring community centers. So that's really important to understand. And I think, do we have time for a question or two? I think I saw a hand over here first, and then I'll get to you, Paul. Yes, I appreciate that. So for our friends on Zoom, we had a great volunteer that's been canvassing her neighborhood, and she just equated it to 2 to 3 trips to Starbucks. That's what it costs, literally. 2 to 3 trips for Starbucks. Sometimes it's 1 trip if you have a large family. Paul? Thanks, Paul. And I will mention that, I personally believe in restorative justice. Valleywise is the only healthcare provider that's contracted with our justice system. So when they're referred to complete, a mental health evaluation or complete some kind of education, they send them to Valleywise. So that's also what we would be supporting. And do we have time? Sorry, everybody. We'll wrap it up, but I will be around. We have lit. Please share it, and you can come see me with any other questions. Thank you.
Oh, I think this was one of your slides too, but of course, vote yes for all the school bond overrides. Who here has already mailed their ballot back? All right. Okay, notice I didn't raise my hand yet. It's still sitting in my mailbox. Don't take after me. I was pretty busy. So ballots have gone out. Please make sure that you are talking to your neighbors. I know, listen to this number. I'm hoping for 30% turnout. And that's pretty high for this year's election. So it's a very low turnout election, even though it's an all mail-in ballot. The Pecos Community Center will be a drop box. And if people need to reprint their ballots, they can come here. That will be open, so make sure you go on to Be Ballot Ready. We ordered, LD12 ordered more Be Ballot Ready little business cards where people can check their voter registration, get registered to vote. We ordered more of those. They are at the printers, so if you need some and you're out and about and you would like some. Yes. Yes. Do not put a stamp on it. Yep, drop it in the mail. It's all prepaid. We want you to vote, so please make sure. Okay, I don't even know what that is. Yes. Oh, okay, Chandler City Hall. Okay, it's already there. Good. Because I did not see that online, but I was looking on my phone, so I don't know. Okay. This is all for, remember, Canvas, I just want to go back one more. Go back. Chandler City Hall by the passport office. Okay. I want to talk about Kyrene, Tempe Elementary, and Chandler USD. There are canvases going on several times a week between Chandler and Kyrene and Tempe Elementary. They're all on our calendar. I believe they're all on your list. They really need help getting the word out. I went to the Kyrene canvas launch, not this past weekend, the weekend before. There was 3 people there, myself and the Kyrene superintendent, Tenyas, and one other volunteer. Kyrene schools, Chandler schools, our schools are under attack. I cannot say this enough. We have to get out and talk to people. We're doing texting and everything. So please, if you can't canvass, be a driver for somebody else that might be able to canvass. But if you can hit on 5 doors, that would make a difference to them because they are just not getting the turnout that they need. And it's really tough. Kyrene is under attack right now because they're getting ready to close some of their schools. Their board meeting I was supposed to be at tonight. I said, oh yeah, I'll be at the board meeting. And then I forgot I had this meeting. So I was like, sorry, can't make it. Are very jam-packed. Sherry and I went. And so please, Chandler school bond didn't pass the last time. So they need our help. They really, really need our help. So anything you can do to help them would be greatly appreciated. Did you want to talk about? Oh, okay. No Kings protests. I know I mentioned this earlier, but they're going to be all over. We had so much fun. If you don't want to, you can't get out there and stand out there and protest, drive by them, honk your horns, show support. I did a lot of that. My husband and I drove up and down the street several times in Chandler just to wave and support the people. But they will be all around. We'll make sure that information gets out. Wear your shirts, wear your signs, make signs, do whatever. If you need something, you need a ride, carpool, it's going to be so much fun. And don't forget to drink plenty of water. It will still be hot. It's always hot in Arizona. So if you need any help with the No Kings, let us know. Again, just a reminder about our Bada Bing raffle baskets. We're going to be closing the sales on that. So if you're online and you want to buy your tickets or you're in person, oh, I see Gavin Lee typing away. Are you buying your tickets, Gavin? So please make sure you buy your tickets. And then next up is we'd like to hear from our legislators. I see Senator Epstein is in here and Representative Travers, and then Representative Contreras is online. So we'll let Senator Epstein.
Great. Thank you very much. Great. Well, good evening. I am Mitzi Epstein, your state senator, and I'm thrilled to see this group once again tonight. The first, of course, I have to talk about education to add to everything Melissa and Patti have said. For the Kyrene override in particular, I know many of you have heard they're closing schools. How can they possibly need more money if they're closing schools? You know, that seems counterintuitive. But the thing about an override, it's just the dollars per student. So if anybody asks you, if you can help us spread this word, that the override for Kyrene is dollars per student, anybody who votes no is saying they want students to have fewer dollars per student than they have right now. It would be a cut in the dollars per student. So you've seen those no signs out there on the streets. We hate them, but I understand people are curious and wondering about it. You can help explain that. Kyrene, it's the dollars per student that the override, when you vote yes, you want to say, keep it about the same dollars per student. It's not even an increase in the dollars per student. So hopefully that helps clear that up. I want to go through a little exercise with you. Pretend that, and this is all about the big bad betrayal bill from the federal government, the budget bill. I've been working on that because in Arizona, one of the first things we have to do is decide, are we going to conform to the tax cuts that the Congress made or not? And if we do conform to them, so if we say all those tax cuts that Congress made, we'll let them be in your state taxes too, it will cost us $438 million as a state. In the budget we already passed, it'll cost us that much. We will have to go back to the budget we already passed and find $438 million of cuts to make if we do that. So I'm not in favor of doing that. So I want to explain some of them to you. And there's three that are fairly simple to understand, but they're terrible, and you'd think they would be nice. So the first one would be no tax on tips. So in order to understand why that's not good, most of you, when you think of somebody who's a tip, you're thinking of your restaurant worker, a waiter, a server at a restaurant. They don't make a whole lot of money. You want them to have some tax favors. You want them to have some cuts. But the trouble is that, why should a bartender who makes $100,000 a year not pay taxes, but a fighter who pays $100,000 a year, they have to pay their taxes? And I also want you to understand what the Republicans actually did to the actual people who are on tips. So some of the people who are tip workers, about a third of them already pay no taxes to the federal government. None, zero. They make so little money that they're not even paying taxes. But more importantly, now we're going to play our little exercise. Pretend that every person in this room, is the money that a person gets in a tipped worker gets in their monthly paycheck. So I need you to count off to 28. Can you start for me? Just go around 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, okay. We're trying to find 28 people here. Okay. And then I want all of you who are in that 28 to stand up. Okay. Now, okay. Now, at Kathy Beebe's table back there, would you find 6 more people to raise their hands? Okay, there's 1. And Kathy, you're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 people raising their hand. Okay. I represent the money that that the federal government is saying, here's this much money. It's Mitzi money. That's the amount of money that the federal government is going to say, tip worker, you get to not have your tips taxed. This is the amount of money you get. But for Medicaid and CHIPS, that's healthcare, all those people standing up, that's the money they're taking away from you. Taking right out of your monthly income, that's all the money they're going to take away from you. And on top of that, if you have SNAP benefits, all those people with their hands raised, that's the amount of money they're going to take away from you in your SNAP benefits if you're a tipped worker. Can you imagine? I mean, it's like give somebody a lollipop and take away all their rent and food money. You can all sit down. Thank you very much. Math matters. And so I wanted you to understand the size of the grotesque insult that our Republican colleagues have waged upon tipped workers with this. Many tipped workers need SNAP benefits, that's food coupons. And it's so insulting to me. I get angry about it, and therefore I'm working very hard that we're not going to exacerbate that problem in the state and ask my colleagues to not conform to that. At the state level, it would be about $300 at the most. The very best tipped worker is going to save $300 at the state level. And in return, in order to pay for it, we might have to cut the pay of a teacher by $1,200. So I don't think anybody in this room wants that trade-off. And so we're going to be asking for, we're going to say tipped workers, please pay your taxes, just like firefighters do. Did you have a question? Thank you. Okay. Oh, so tell me your name again. It's Ellen Torch back there. Great. Ellen Torch just explained that her nephew is a tipped worker, but he makes $80,000 a year. And so he should simply pay his taxes because that's a good income. And so it is true for so many. Similarly, we have an overtime, no tax on overtime situation that, again, gives and takes away. And again, the example of your nephew, Ellen, is perfect. Just why should a person who has a family and doesn't have the time to work overtime, or the person whose boss just will never give them the overtime, they don't get to have this tax favor. So why should those with overtime have a tax favor? There's no reason for it, except for the Trump administration is trying to pretend they're helping working people, but these are the worst kinds of help you can do. There's so many good ways you could help working people. Just imagine if all of these things that they were putting into these bad ways, they'd put into paid family and medical leave. That'd be a great way to help workers. But what they're doing instead is just like their immigration strategy. It's all show and bluster, and what can they have happen on TV? And it's not real. It's not real. Ellen, that's a great point. Ellen said it's helping the wealthy business owners. In fact, they do still have to pay the Social Security and Medicare taxes on the full amount, even though the taxes are not tipped, or the tips are not taxed. Thanks for bringing that up. Yes. So, well, that would help a lot to get rid of the flat tax. Other Ellen. Yes, Ellen, the great poignant of a piece of it all is that it expires in 2028. And you know what else happens in 2028? Trump is not president anymore. So it's just horrible policy. The last one I think I mentioned last time was the $6,000 deduction for seniors, people over 65. A lot of folks in this room, I'm thinking, are going to be able to take advantage of that. You know why? It really only helps folks who are in the upper middle class, because Arizona already does not tax Social Security at all. So if the average married couple, retired, gets $48,000 of Social Security, and that's the average amount, none of that is taxed. Additionally, they get $30,000 in their standard deduction. So and then they don't pay capital gains tax on their capital gains either. You can easily be a married couple making $80,000 and you're not paying any Arizona income taxes. So when you compare that to a young couple who's going to pay about $8,000 of income taxes for $80,000 of income, I don't think the elders need, the upper middle class elders in Arizona need the cut. But if we do it, we'll have to take away teachers and whatnot and childcare from that younger family. So thank you for listening to this fairly complex, fairly strange situation we're in, because the Republicans are in power and they are strange. What else can I say? If you have any questions for me, please hang out afterwards. I'm all ears. And I want to hear from you if you have any concerns. Tax conformity is going to be our big question in the legislative session this upcoming year. And I'll hope to not bore you with you too much by having more people exercises. And thank you to all of our people who stood up.
Thank you. That was incredibly informative. Maybe Mitzi can do a town hall on this subject. So I want to give you a little bit of what we've been doing at the state legislature. Today we had our 4th or 5th stop on the Democrats Deliver Tour. We've been going around the state and showing folks how your budget money is being spent in terms of Democratic priorities. Today we met with the Attorney General's office, and we managed to get on top of their baseline budget and their supplemental a extra $350,000 for sex trafficking and their program there to help with sex trafficking internet interdiction, and it was a fantastic conversation. There were certainly things that I learned about, even having a 7 and 11-year-old, that I didn't know about AI bots that are now starting to pervade the internet and all kinds of concerns. And so it was really fantastic. The week before, we were at Pima Community College to talk about the money that we got for community colleges, not just for kids, but for adult education. And we learned more about adult education and how our funding allowed community college prioritization. And then our next stop will be, and then we went to Lake Havasu City to talk about Veterans Treatments Courts. If you get a chance to go to the interwebs and check out the House Democrats, you will find little videos of the experience, the people that we spoke to, the stories that we heard. They were incredibly impactful. Democrats have a tendency to pool their money. The Republicans get their little individual pots of money that they can spend on Prescott Rodeo Day and things like that. But the Democrats have always pooled their money to make sure that we have services and we have programs that help all Arizonans throughout the whole state. And it's something that we're really proud at. Tomorrow, we're going to be going to Keys of Change and talking to various housing coalitions and learning about the different housing programs, because we allocated money for the unhoused and for affordable housing programs. And then throughout the rest of the year, we'll be doing little snippets of different interviews from different people, whether it's a school to talk about free school meal programs or some of the other stuff, so you guys know where your money has been spent and what our priorities are as Democrats. So thank you very much for that. You know, sometimes you come to meetings and you hear so many things and you're like, yes, me too, yes, me too, yes, me too. I was a $1.3 million baby. My daughter spent over a month in the NICU. I spent 2.5 months in the hospital on bed rest. And I hear your story. She's, has now developmental delays, and she's a great kid. And so I couldn't even do twins. I thought I wanted to, but I can barely do the two that I have 4 years apart. So that incredibly resonated with me. Kyrene, if you have an opportunity, come to the forums. I know we couldn't make school board meeting today. I know they were going to be talking about transportation issues and how they were going to adapt to the transportation requirements based on the schools that they were closing. But if you have an opportunity, go to the forums and make your voices heard. They are still in a process. Nothing has been decided yet. But at least hear the conversations, at least watch online so that you know what's going on. It's so incredibly important. Yes, they're slowly trying to dismantle public education. It blows my mind how some districts have to close 9 schools, and one school is going to spend $80 million on a stadium with a roof on it. Have you guys heard about the Tolleson district? No. So Tolleson High School District has so much money that they're lending it to Isaac School District, who is having some financial hardships, and they're also building an $80 million stadium with a roof over it so that when it gets too hot, they don't sweat while they're playing football. So thank you, Mitzi, for highlighting the Kyrene stuff. Please, yes, vote yes for all the overrides in your cities. It's so important. It pays for essential services. It, pays to keep us going. And we're already in dire straits. It doesn't raise your taxes. You all know the stories. And then the other thing is, I don't know if you guys have heard at the federal level, they have let go a whole bunch of people in the special education department of the Department of Education. We have I don't know if you guys know who Judy Human is. She was at the forefront of disability rights. Her brother Rick is still in Chandler. He used to be on city council. He's now with the disabilities committee, and I know he will continue to advocate. It's great that we have our own sort of local disability celebrity who is championing the cause. What is happening to dismantle special ed at the national level for education for kids all over the country is unconscionable. It's absolutely unreal. So keep yourself involved, informed. We have so many teachers and so many school staff here, and I know you guys know how much it's going to hurt. And we don't have an answer for it. This year, it's predicted that we only have, I think, a $67 million surplus because of the hits from the federal government. That covers nothing. That covers nothing. So we're going to do our best to see how we can look at the bank account and, see what we can keep funded and how we can keep things going. And do we dip into rainy day? Those are some of the discussions that we're going to be having at the state level. But kids should always be a priority, and not just because I have them, because they are our future. It's why a lot of us run. It's why a lot of us care about government and civics, and it's because of the future. So please keep yourself informed. I know that there were some announcements earlier. As you all know, I am going to be running again for another election cycle, but I have taken a decision. I'm looking into running clean. I have never had a vote influenced by any money that I have ever taken, but I feel very strongly this year more than ever that I want to try to be thoughtful and listen to my district. And I'm looking into it now. I'm talking with some people to see if it's feasible based on past donations and blah, blah, blah. But one thing I will be doing regardless is not taking any utility money at all. Thank you. So I have already made those phone calls. I have already told those folks that I don't want it, so don't even cut the check. I'm going to stick to the things that I believe in. Thank you. things that I believe in, like strong unions, like a clean environment. Those I will take donations from because you still need money to run a campaign. But being much more thoughtful. And thank you for being here, the CorpCom guys, because you're sort of the extra wind beneath my wings. Years ago, I was offered more than $10,000 by the Coyotes, which I chose not to take. And I was very proud of that decision. And now that we're going into this next election cycle, I'm going to be much more thoughtful. And a lot of it is from you guys, from my experience. I think I owe it to you. I know how we all felt last session about some of the stuff that kind of was going on. And so that's my big announcement. So that means I need all the help I can get from you guys. So signatures, any small donations that you can get. I never got a lot of money from them anyway, because I've never been that important. But you know, even $100 or $500 from them is just too much, is $1 too much. So I need all the support I can get, and that's all I got. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we have Representative Contreras that's online.
Hello?
So-
Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, we can hear you. She won't be able to hear anybody in the audience, so we're gonna do something different. We're gonna turn the camera around. We're gonna look at all of you guys, and when you're excited, you wave your hands, because just like that, then she knows that you're listening and paying attention. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Melissa. So I am sad not to be there because I'm sitting in a hotel room in Sierra Vista today. I am a member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, as some of you know. And so the Rural Transportation Summit is here in Sierra Vista this week. So I'm here to listen to what our friends in the rural communities have to say and how we can help them at the state legislature with the rural and transportation needs throughout our state. As you know, I'm a big proponent of our rural areas, although I represent you in Ahwatukee, Chandler, and Tempe. But I know, coming from rural community, that it's real important that we have folks. Now I can't see you, I can see me. Here, I'll move it over. There we go. So it's important that we listen to what they have to say. So I'm here in sunny Sierra Vista. So a couple of other things going on right now. I'm happy to report that I was appointed by the governor to the Governor's Advisory Council on Aging. It's quite an honor to be appointed to that. As many of you know, I've worked with seniors for many, many years through the City of Phoenix and prior to that, and other agencies and all. So I'm really happy to be a part of that council and be appointed for that, so that I can help lend my experience to what I've been seeing out there in all different areas with seniors, whether it's you know, just active seniors, people with dementia, people in assisted living facilities, all those types of things. So really happy to be part of that council. Let's see. This week, the last couple of weeks, Deep Friday, you know, everybody keeps saying, how are you doing on your interim? How are you enjoying your interim? Well, I have read some books, but other than that, it's been busy. I've been having a lot of meetings and all. And as you know, I've been working on title fraud, title deed fraud and all. In the last couple of weeks, I've met with the Department of Real Estate, the Commissioner of Real Estate, and met with the county assessor, and just heard from, when we were at the Attorney General's office today, that they're working on some stuff too. So we're getting closer to our deed fraud bill and making quite a difference there. So really happy with that. And of course, this is my monthly commercial to make sure, if you haven't signed up for Maricopa Title Alert, to do that now and get your property listed and all. We're tossing around a bunch of ideas, but as you know, my idea last year was to have something that was before the title gets recorded versus after, because that's what it is right now. And so we're working on something that maybe we could go through escrow and title company instead, and have those alerts come out that way. So that would be right at the beginning. And also that's something we're working on right now. So as you know, Mitzi's not running for Senate, so I am going to be running and hopefully take her place next term. So my Senate kickoff is coming up Sunday, November the 9th. I know it's been announced there already, and I think there's flyers on the tables there too. But I want to thank Marion and Paul very much for hosting this event. It'll be a lot of fun. Come on out, RSVP, and it's hopefully it'll be a beautiful day. I hope everybody survived the storm from yesterday. Holy cow, was that crazy? So I think by November, all this crazy weather will have cleared out, and we'll just have a beautiful, beautiful day for the event in Paul and Marion's beautiful backyard. So please RSVP for that. Really getting ready to just kick things off and get going on the on the new campaign. So also, yes, as everybody else has mentioned too, sign our petitions. You can go online and sign them, and as you go through, sign everybody else's petitions too. Let's see what else. I think that's about it. I'm heading over to Chandler to go to the rally on Saturday, Saturday, and I hope we'll see you all there with the sign. I saw people at the bridge a few weeks or about a month ago, and they were in wheelchairs, just sitting there with their signs. So people can come out, bring your chair, and sit on the side of the road, and just have a sign, or just be there, because I think it's real important that we show this regime in Washington that we're not going to put up with their kings, and all the crazy stuff that they're doing over there. So look forward to seeing you all there. I think that's all I have. So great seeing you all, although you're teeny tiny on my phone, so you're about this big. So but it's good to see you all. Sorry you can be there. I'll see you next time.
Okay, well, thank you. We miss you. We'll see you at an upcoming event, I'm sure. So this is the last chance that you can get raffle tickets. We're going to go ahead and do 1 minute, and then we're going to close it so he can prepare the report or the thing, whatever it is. Anyways, let's go over some financials. We're doing pretty good. We're on track. We watch this really closely every month that goes by to make sure that we're staying on track and raising the money that we need to raise. So for the month of September, we had a beginning cash balance of $29,289. We raised $3,589. We only spent $689. We did pretty good. So we had an ending cash balance of $32,189. So thank you to everybody that makes monthly donations, that buys tickets, that helps volunteer. So thank you very much for your generosity. We're going to go ahead and close the bada bing, and he's going to do the raffle. If you are interested in speaking at the end, we're going to give 1 minute update for anybody that wants to. We're going to ask you to come up and line up over here. I have a couple more announcements. If you're looking for shirts like this cute one that I'm wearing, we have them for sale. They're over there. We have cookbooks still, yes, and all kinds, and of course our LD shirts. So if you're going out to campus. Oh, yes, and don't forget to get your bingo tickets. Look at everybody's lining up. Oh, all right. Oh, you're going to do it. Okay. All right. So here's all the thing. Oh, sorry. Go back. There's all the things that we sell. We only have sticker LD12 stickers left. I took the last magnet because I got myself a new car. I need a new magnet for it. So please make sure that you get that, your LD12 swag. We do the bada bing first, and then we do our announcements. Okay, so Mark, are you ready? Mark is ready. So we're going to stop screen sharing. Mark is going to share his screen. I wish I knew how to tap dance. Does anybody know how to tap? I just feel like, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. We're going to have some announcements at the end of the night. And I just want to make a shout out to, oh, he's standing. What are you standing in line? Honorary Jeff Tucker is in the house. He snuck in, sat in the back. I didn't even recognize him. I know. He even wore his LD12 t-shirt and his, I know. All right. So let's see how we did with Bada Bing raffle baskets. Somebody's going to have to translate. Because our cordless microphones are not, we're still in the process of trying to get them to work. Yeah, I can't read that. No. We raised $530 tonight for those Bada Bing. Nice job. All right. First up is Wake Up, Wake Up. Okay. 352 tickets. Oh, I'm doing pretty good here. Is that really? Okay. Wake Up is 352 tickets sold. And the winner is, oh, he's got to do the, where's Paul? He always does drum roll. Where's he at? We're all waiting. Maybe. Oh no, I can't do it that. I can't do it that long. That's too long. Winning number is 263. Oh, Patti! Congratulations, Representative Contreras. All right. The second one is Light Up Your Holidays. We sold 332 tickets for that, and the winning number is 158. And the winner is Janet Kirby. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay, Mark, you can stop screen share for me. All right. All right, we're going to open it up to new business. Sherry's going to keep time. 1 minute. Come on up.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Jennifer Germain. I'm your current Justice of the Peace for the San Marcos District that covers Chandler and Sun Lakes. And I am running for re-election. I'm the first woman, the first Native American, the first Democrat to be elected to that seat in its 100-year existence. And I would love to be able to keep serving you with Maricopa County Justice Courts in the San Marcos District. I want to shout out to Rep. Travers because Maricopa County just got notified of our Veterans Treatment Court grant. So we're going to be opening the East Valley Veterans Treatment Court in our building in downtown Chandler. So we're really excited about that. And then again, to remind everybody to please, from the court's perspective, please support Valleywise. We do use them a lot for court-ordered referral treatment and for mental health evaluations to be able to stand trial. So they provide a very, very supportive service to our court system and to ensuring fair access to justice. So thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Molly Donnelly. Marion has asked me to reiterate the need for you guys to sign up for the Blue Bingo Bash. It is on the agenda tonight, the QR code. I have a large backyard that can handle lots of people. And so please, everybody come. We'll have a great night. And there will be alcohol if you bring it. Okay, real quick. Keep Arizona Blue Student Coalition has registered lots of voters, and over 2,000. They have postcards to thank each voter. I have them in groups of 20 over here. You do not need stamps unless you want to donate stamps or money back to me, because I paid for all the stamps. But so we have over 500 postcards to do. If you would like to grab some, Please do. I will be right over here. Here's Franklin.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Franklin Zyra, candidate for Kyrene School Board. You are all invited to my campaign launch this Sunday, October 19th from 2 to 4 p.m. in Ahwatukee. Address will be provided upon RSVP. There's a QR code at the table in the back, so you can get signed up. The host committee includes our own Senator Mitzi Epstein, Janie Heydrich, Amy Satry, current governing board member, and several others. I also just want to re-echo what others have said about please vote yes on the Kyrene override. The maintenance and operation overrides help support our Kyrene teachers. Over 200 of them get their salary through the override. It helps keep Kyrene class sizes small and support special area instruction at the elementary level and the middle school level. So please vote yes on all those. You can also see more information in the statement I wrote that's in your publicity pamphlet about the override. Last thing back, just see you all on Sunday, October 19th at the launch. Thank you.
Nice job on the timing, Franklin. Janet here for Arlene. We had a big day today. I'd like to thank everyone in Tempe and outside of Tempe who worked with us. We needed a minimum of 900 and something signatures. Today we turned in 1,595 signatures to the city of Tempe to qualify for the ballot. So looking good for Arlene. I do have yard signs in the back. Please take them. I'm tired of them scratching the back of my car. If you're interested in helping us, we're still canvassing. We're still raising money. Come out and join us and have a good time in Tempe. Thank you.
All right, everybody, I'm back with my school board and mom hat. I wanted to provide an update. The efforts continue with our Keep CUSD Families Together campaign. Last time I was with you about this campaign, we had 20 identified families that have been impacted by family separation with the attacks on our immigrant families, just in CUSD. Today, that number has grown to over 55 families with 2 to 3 children in each of these households. And one story I shared with you all was an older sibling who is a student at Chandler Gilbert Community College who is now in care of her 2 younger brothers and sisters. I learned, this was a detail I didn't know, that she's been Ubering to school because she is 18 or 19 years old and she wasn't left with a car, doesn't have her license, and it's just another barrier. So these funds have been utilized to help lift her to her community college and continue supporting her family along with the 55 others that we have identified. So please consider supporting, sharing, and donating what you can. Thank you.
Well, hello, LD12. My name is Armando Montero. It's good to see you all. And as I was on my way here, I was remembering that my first time that I ever spoke in front of LD12, I was 16 years old, talking with March for Our Lives Arizona. So it's a little bittersweet for me to formally tell you all today that I am going to be running for the open LD12 House of Representatives seat and would love to have all of your support. I first got elected to the Tempe Union School Board with all of your support in 2020 to become one of the youngest elected officials in the state of Arizona, made historic progress at our schools, glad to be a part of making our school district for the first time in district's history all A's across the board, and have served as the president of that board for the past 3 years. And if you would have asked me a year ago if I was considering running for the legislature, the answer would have been no. But that changed when I was forced to cut 54 positions from our school budget because of the failed policies of the state legislature. So I hope to help bring a fresh perspective and a unique perspective to the legislature. I'll have a more formal announcement coming next week with donation, website, all that good stuff. But in the meantime, my petitions are in the back, so please feel free to sign if you have not. And I'm looking forward to working with you all soon.
Thank you, Armando. You've got my vote. That's an easy one. I'm just going to take a quick selfie with my beloved LD12s. Oh, wait, hold on, Melissa, no, wait. Okay, and then I'll be real quick. Brooke St. George, I'm running for Tempe City Council, LD12 PC and state committee member. I've got a couple of things on your tables. First, I just want to invite you next week at Kyrene and Elliot, who was hit pretty hard yesterday. But Amanda Schneider and Carrie Hill are going to be hosting an open house meet and greet. So for those of you in Tempe, please come. If you know someone in Tempe, please take a flyer and invite them. We would love for them to come learn more about my campaign. Also, I would be remiss if I did not tell you as a YMCA board member that we have our Spooky Sprint coming up on October 25th. So the day after the Bada Bing raffle, or sorry, the Blue Bingo Bash, so many bees, Brooke for Tempe. So that is, the Spooky Sprint is fun. Come stroll the canal and raise money for the Tempe YMCA. And that's all, brookfortempe.com. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. I am Jeffrey Tucker. Oh, thank you, everyone. I really miss you guys. I love my new LD, but I totally miss you guys. In terms of what I am here about tonight, and I hope this is okay, Melissa. It's not. Okay. I am promoting an LD13 event that we're having. It's at Crust, which is downtown. It's on Thursday night, so it's 2 nights away. If you can go to the LD13 website or pick up your camera and take a shot of the QR code here. What we are doing is an auction, and we're giving away $2,000 worth of prizes, giving away. If you win the auction, that is. So we're hoping that you all will turn out for that. Team, when we had our party in January, just our going away party, I said, yeah, I'll have a housewarming party. Well, what I'd like to invite you all to is not really a housewarming party, but for LD13, our holiday party, which will be held at Joe and my house in Chandler. And you will be seeing more information about it in your Slack channel. And thank you so much, everybody. Really miss you guys. And oh, by the way, the first time that I addressed this district was when I was 35.
And you're not a day over 35 now. Hi, I'm Ellen Shama, and I'm holding a fundraiser for Mark Robert Gordon on November 2nd at my house. All right. Many of you are saying to yourself, why should I worry about a candidate from District 1? The reason you should worry about a candidate from District 1 is to help flip the legislature. He's an excellent candidate, long credentials for pro-union, pro-Democrats, pro-everything that we value here. He's even worked on missions to Ukraine, where he's brought medical supplies and ambulances and things like that. He's active with the Democratic Party in D.C. He's done remarkable things, and he definitely echoes our values. Please come. Notices on your tables. RSVP.
Hello, folks. My name is Sharon Sauls. I am the Justice of the Peace at the Kyrene Justice Court. Let me just piggyback off of some of the things Judge Germain said. I'm the first African-American woman elected to Kyrene. I'm the second African-American Justice of the Peace elected, female elected in all of Maricopa County. And I think that means that I am the third African-American to be elected as Justice of Peace overall. But I want to tell you guys, so my kids are very sad that their alma mater, Akimal, is being shut down. They were shocked and devastated, so that's sad. I wanted to thank you guys for supporting constables and JPs getting their petitions online, so I wanted to point that out. Every time I come up, guys, I invite you to come over to the court so you'll see how we operate. The invitation is still open, all right? I sit across the hall from Jennifer Germain, so we love to bounce ideas off of each other. What I don't know, she knows. I can't say what she doesn't know, I don't know, because she's the brainiac. So I'll end it with that. Thank you, folks.
Hi, everyone. Nick Mansour again. I didn't know it was a thing, but first time I've been in front of you, I'm 56 years old. So anyways, I'll keep coming back until I get the same welcome that everybody else does. that the other people did. But I'm back up here just because I've had some questions about how to sign our petition. We forgot to bring our petition forms here tonight. But on the back of the agenda is a QR code to get to Equal. You can find us there. Janet Hamlin will also have our petition forms in the future. So I know you all know Janet. You can find her. So thank you. Need your support. Please sign the petition, donate money, and as I said, tell your neighbors about this treasurer's office and what it can do for our economy and our education, because we all deserve better representation. Thank you.
Are you running? Hi, I just wanted to help our wonderful Clean Elections candidates. You can do early money, seed money, $220 per person. Early money is the best money.
That's it. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I know we're running a little late. A couple of things before you stand up. We'd like to leave this place better than what we found it. Please make sure all your chairs are in, tables are cleared off. I'll stick around for a little bit. So thank you very much. We'll close the meeting at 7:46. Have a great evening. I want to test a couple of things before you close the Zoom.
Check.
Susie.
Two.
Is Susie still online?
Check.
Oh, I want to make sure she can hear us. We're testing out our cordless microphone, see if that was better.
Here, I'm here.
Is anybody online? Can they still hear us? There's still people on there.
I can hear you.
I can hear
Oh,
you.
good.
It's awesome.
Okay, thank you. Have a great night.
Sorry, quick question. When is the deadline for signing equal petition? Sorry if someone already said that, I just missed it.
I was gonna try to answer you, but I don't really know. I guess the same deadline as for signing the paper petitions.
Fair question, or sorry, fair answer. I don't know that deadline either.
Come over here.